In the poker scene, in that one scene, you know, you hear some music in the background, and I realized while we were editing, we're going to need some music just to fill it because it just would sound better. Say someone's playing, you know, the 78 in the next block, or you know, radio maybe. So again, I decided, well, what if we took the music that you wrote, as I talked to Scott, our composer, and we put lyrics to it and recorded it as an original jazz tune, rather than again paying for, you know, a well-known song. So I sat down and wrote some lyrics, and you know, worked with Scott, and he and I worked together, and that's how we came up with a song that you hear just in the background. Hopefully, you don't even notice it because you're not supposed to. If the sound is effective, it shouldn't stand out. Because in this case, it was just creating atmosphere. I'm talking about sound in front of Ken Miura, who is a renowned sound artist in cinema. Anyway, so that's where the song came from. And then I decided, let's put it in the closing credits because we need more music there. So then we get to hear what the lyrics are, which was all about, you know, missing somebody again. Anyway, thank you all for coming, and I want to thank Yoko-san and Mr. Wakamoto and Mr. Miura for organizing this. You know, it's been a really long time since I watched the film, and this is actually the first time publicly you're seeing it with the 5.1 sound on DVD. Before, that was only available if we showed a 35mm print. So, again, you probably didn't even notice it, but it was nice to hear the wind and the sound effects that were coming all over the place and the way the music was mixed. We spent a lot of time on that. And this is such a nice facility to have that. I really appreciated it. This is the new DVD that's still in the works but about to go out that we'll have. You saw there's a few deleted scenes and some commentary from myself and the playwright producer, Tim Koyama. That was a short that I made in 1997. That won the Oscar that year for live action show. So, since it wasn't related to this film, I wasn't going to bring it, but I do this to share it with people because it's not something I ever feel like I got, you know, by myself. It took many people, so I'll pass it around and y'all can look at it. Just let it go that way. But again, you know, it's the thing I really love about filmmaking is that it's collaborative and you get to work with so many people. And when you have a really good story, you know, it attracts really good people, and people, everyone benefits.
重い。杉原の話してますか? That was his name, right? Sugihara. He was a Japanese diplomat who saved many Jewish people's lives.
There's been a couple of Japanese films made about him.
Oh, you said there's one in the works with Ken Watanabe. Interested? Or
you know, I don't know. I heard that, but that was a while ago. I haven't heard anything more about it. I know there was probably now about 10 or 15 years ago, there was a TV movie that starred Gokato.
Oh,
but I think there's also been something made more recent than that.
Oh, really? By NHK or what?
I'm not sure. But I think I did see it. I think it was another TV movie.
Out of curiosity, how well was it received in Japan?
Very well. Yeah. Again,
she's talking about the movie that won the Academy Award.
Yeah, it actually showed a lot more, and with the several film festivals, you know, it was very well received. I mean, I think that's something, you know, that Japanese people just like to be proud of. You know, they can connect with it and love to share the story. You know, they're not as closely connected with Japanese American history, but for that, you know, even though I'm not speaking Japanese, it's an American movie, and I think, you know, they all appreciate it. I went to his home prefecture, Gifu, met them I guess, the governor prefecture.
Oh, really?
And then went to Yamatsuru, which was his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And visited. There's a memorial park that now has a museum. When I went there, it hadn't been built yet.
Mm.
So I mean, treated very well, and it was an honor just to sort of be associated with his name because he's now well known. But the film was very well received.
Oh. It sounds like you were in a position to be like, a goodwill ambassador, visiting the home prefecture. And
yeah, I think as filmmakers you do that. As artists, anytime you can, you're showing at international festivals, you're essentially, doing cross-cultural presentation, and everyone there is there to celebrate not just that story, but what it is you're doing. For example, festivals, you get filmmakers all over the world are the same in terms of how they work and what the process is and what the process is. So it's a very universal thing. Anyway, let's some things about the film. Anyone have any comments or questions or? Yeah.
How long did the whole process take to make the film?
How long was it to make the film? Shoot was about 7.5 days. I think like 3.5 days exteriors up in Stockton, and then about 3 days down in LA in interiors. 3.5 days maybe shooting interiors on a stage and a location. So yeah, the writing was, had been in the works for actually many months. Tim was working on this and a number of other plays, so it's kind of hard to judge exactly how long that took. But once we decided to do it as a film, it sort of had pretty compact, about 2 years.
I heard you showed this film in Japan, and how was the reaction of Japanese audience?
It was, to be honest, it was surprisingly good, and I only say that because, my initial assessment or assumption maybe even was that for the most part, the people in Japan don't really care about our history here. And I found that to be not true. Visit to Japan and showing this film. It is true that a lot of them don't know about it, but that's nobody's fault. What I found is when they find out, it's something that they're interested in. So that the reception was very good, and I mean, really, it like I said, had hope. It's just it made them want to ask a lot of questions and learn more about the history. And also, I found that to be, Japanese students I found here, because I know a lot of, actors from Japan and filmmakers from Japan that maybe come here and aren't aware of Japanese American history, but become aware of it and, sort of become, much more, I think, affected by it, learning about what the earlier wave of immigrants faced when they came here, and I think relating to that, I think just in a way that I know that I relate to the story of Japanese people all over the world, to discover about Japanese Brazilians and Japanese all over the place. It's very interesting stories about immigration and family and dealing with those kind of things. So it was very good. I was really happy to show it there. I want to show it more. I think when I get the DVDs out, that'll help. So it was a great experience going there and showing the film.